Get ready, America. We're live with Jacoby and Nicole. Starring Jacoby de Bouvier and co-host Nicole Slade. Special guest, renowned supermodel Nicole Tennant. In a comedy spot with Howard L.
When I walk in the room, all eyes on me. People think they know me cause they saw me on TV.
Now here's your host, Jacoby and Nicole.
Welcome to Live with Jacoby and Nicole. Welcome to another edition of Live with Jacoby and Nicole, and today we have an exclusive interview with a supermodel by the name of
Nicole Tennant.
And she's traveled the world, and she's from Virginia, so it's going to be quite a surprise. And we'll meet her right after this commercial break.
Hey, 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 hey.
Have you tasted Large Brothers seafood at a festival or event? That seafood platter is amazing. And those shrimp, man, they are delicious. Try them out at the Funk Fest in August. And check out their website at largebrotherscatering.com. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Good food all the time. Large Brothers.
Ryan Steaks and Cakes, voted best food in Suffolk, Virginia, with the best sweet potato jacks in the world. Located in downtown Suffolk, Virginia. Tell them you heard about them on Live with Jacoby and Nicole and receive a 10% discount. 202 East Washington Street, Suffolk, Virginia. Call them up today at 757-809-5449. That's 757-809-5449. Good food all the time.
Ooh, I'm a gospel.
Have you always wanted to rip the runway and get paid for your photos being in magazines like Vogue, Glamour, XXL, and Vibe magazine? Listen, Jacoby de Bouvier is an experienced model coordinator, fashion show producer, and agent with years of experience in the industry. He is designing this workshop especially for you. Call 757-618-8437 to sign up for this workshop. Space is limited, so call soon. 757-618-8437. That's 757-618-8437.
And we're here live with an exclusive interview with the supermodel by the name of Nicole Tennant. I first met her in 2011 when she took my model workshop, and she was phenomenal. She had the look. She was 6 feet tall, as she's here today. So welcome to our show.
Thank you, Jacoby.
All right, so you're going to tell us a little bit how you got swept from Virginia, Yorktown, Virginia to New York.
Well, there's not a lot to tell on that part. I got tired of waiting, so I decided to jump on the midnight bus that leaves the Kmart parking lot right before I turned 21, and managed to stumble my way around without a smartphone and find the Major Model Management open call, and got very lucky.
Okay. And so what was it like, I mean, living in New York, because they actually put you up in a model dorm, correct?
On Madison Avenue, yes.
Oh, on Madison Avenue, ladies and gentlemen, that's on the east side where all the rich folks are.
Yes, it was absolutely amazing. It was kind of like stepping into Cinderella.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually helping my mom clean houses one day before I got on the bus and went up there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an amazing ride. I got to meet a lot of incredible people. Got to do some cool stuff. Got buzz cut for Glamour magazine, different random things.
Mm-hmm. So did you actually get to work with a lot of different photographers?
Yes, they definitely know how to keep you busy. The things that people do in Virginia is a whole different animal. Up there, they're sending 7, 8 castings a day straight to your phone. And I didn't even have a smartphone when I first went up there.
Oh, wow.
So I realized I was one of those people that said, I don't need one. and then I had to figure out the subway, and then I got one less than 24 hours later.
Right. Okay. So when you were signed to, what agency were you signed to?
Major Model Management.
And that's one of the top agencies in New York, correct?
Yes.
So I used to take models to New York all the time, to Next, to Ford, to Elite, to all of the top agencies to try to make sure that they were looked at. And a lot of them had the commercial or the print look, but they weren't ready for the runway. Do you think being 6 foot tall is what escalated you to the top?
It didn't hurt.
All right.
But I'm kind of surprised that I got signed the way I did, because it was like kind of sleeting, slushing outside.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of showed up looking like a drowned rat.
Oh, Lord.
I didn't really know how to dress, anything like that. In fact, almost none of the clothes that I actually brought up there were really considered acceptable. I got a little bit of schooling.
So, when you were signed to Major Models, what was the first thing you bought? Did you bring your mom there? Did you buy her a new present or something? What was the first thing you bought?
First thing I bought was a smartphone.
And that
Get
was
around
smart.
the subway. But she actually went up there with me when I got signed.
Oh, she did.
And then
okay.
I was living in the model dorm for the first part of it, and then I was actually living in an apartment up there, and Major was actually paying the rent, and she came up and visited me as well.
Well, your mom had some person because she had a chance to have lunch with Beyonce, right?
Yeah, she had more celebrities than I did.
All right. So listen, I want you to share with the people who are aspiring models, like, a lot of people don't know what types of pictures to send to the agencies to look at, because, you know, if you send pictures you already done, they don't have a canvas to build you on. What do you suggest they send to the agencies? Barefaced or all made up?
I would definitely suggest barefaced, because they're probably just going to request that if you send made up pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really get too specific though, because I didn't send pictures, I just showed them in person.
Right. But I'm saying you talked to other models that were there in the dorm, obviously. But I think that barefaced, because they can build on that, or send both. So you can send like a before and after, because sometimes people can't really see the vision of how beautiful you are until they see the after. But I think most models, what do you think, black and white or color or both?
I would say probably color, so that they can see your skin tone, how bad the under eyes are. That was my biggest problem, was my under eyes when I was up there. They were always trying to fix.
Okay. So you modeled in Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week.
Yes, I did.
Now, what was that experience like?
It was insane and crazy, and it was, especially the craziest part is actually the castings for the several weeks before they start up. And people are going nuts. You already have 10 castings, and then they're sending more to your cell phone like every couple of hours, at least once a day. The address is wrong.
Wow.
It's insane. Everybody's scrambling to do everything last minute.
So what designer did you wear in Mercedes Fashion Week?
I actually walked for a few different people. Embarrassingly enough, it was a few years ago, and I can't remember specific names.
You don't remember
Fail.
what big designer you were working for?
I actually, like I said, it was quite a few years ago. I actually don't remember the specific names.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
so sorry.
So would you do it again?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, it was nothing like what I thought it was going to be, but it was the best experience I could ever have. But it's not easy. A lot of people think that it's, just sitting on a couch and getting your pictures done, and that they have this perfect, easy, cushy life, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done, but it was worth it.
It's a real life job, and a real life, get out of here and get it done, because you have also a lot of beautiful women in the room with you that wants the same thing and that same attention. So you're fighting for it on an everyday basis. But as fabulous as you are, I'm sure it was no problem.
Well, thank you. Now, no one wins all the time, but it is a lot of pressure, and I was very lucky because I naturally had the body type that they were looking for. But a lot of the other girls couldn't really take the pressure as far as the shape they wanted them to be.
So you've seen the show America's Next Top Model, haven't you?
Yes.
So it's really like that? Are the people that cutthroat that up front when they tell you that you're not right for this, you go home, don't try this? I mean, do you get a lot of discouragement? Because you have to have resilient skin to be in the entertainment industry. So are they really like that rough and upfront, or it's not really like that?
It can be. People aren't rude just for the sake of rudeness, but they also don't pull punches. because there's no time for that. You know, you don't go up there to get your ego stoked. You go up there to get the job done. If you have what it takes, then and there's a reason you're there, then that's great. If it's not working out, people will tell you.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I know all about it.
They will be very blunt about, as far as, especially like I said, like body types, body shapes. If you're a girl that can't take someone saying, okay, your thighs, if you're a girl that you can't take, like an agency owner, someone saying, okay, your thighs look like crap, you have this many days to lose this many pounds, I wouldn't suggest it.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
The runway, runway, runway. Bring it to the runway, runway, runway. Bring it to the runway, bring it to the runway, bring it to the runway. Category is bright-eyed and bush.
Jacoby Publishing. We take your ideas from the page to the stage. We publish books, CDs, music, and anything in print, or in music, or in film. Call Jacoby Publishing today. 757-618-8437. With Jacoby and Nicole is brought to you by ASAP Men's Fragrance by Jacoby. Mr. Dubuvier International Magazine is a proud sponsor of Live with Jacoby and Nicole.
Have you tasted Large Brothers seafood at a festival or event? That seafood platter is amazing. And those shrimp, man, they are delicious. Try them out at the Funk Fest in August. And check out their website at largebrotherscatering.com. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Good food all the time. Large Brothers.
Ryan's Steaks and Cakes, voted best food in Suffolk, Virginia, with the best sweet potato jacks in the world. Located in downtown Suffolk, Virginia. Tell them you heard about them on Live with Jacoby and Nicole and receive a 10% discount. 202 East Washington Street, Suffolk, Virginia.
And we're back live talking to a beautiful model by the name of Nicole Tennant. Now, her story is relevant to this show because she's from Yorktown, Virginia. And my first experience with her, I said it was with the workshop that she took with me, but I discovered her as she was a hostess working with Tim Reed. Remember that?
Yes.
And I walked up to her, I was like, wow, you are so tall and beautiful. Who are you signed with? Because I was trying to get her to sign with me. And she's like, I'm not signed with anyone. So I gave her my card, and then she took a workshop with me. And I worked on her walk and her loosening up her hands. I still remember she was walking with her hands, but I said, Nicole, you have to look, but you got to unball those hands. And I was relentless, and she finally got it, and she did the show. The next thing I know, she's whisked off to New York. So we're here talking to her, and she's going to give you some tips on how to break into the business. So tell the young aspiring models, males and females, how important it is not to give up on their dream.
Well, like you were saying about having thick skin in the entertainment industry, if you don't have thick skin, it's really not the industry for you. You can't be somebody that runs away the first time you get some kind of rejection, because even the most successful people are going to be rejected more than half the time.
That is so true.
So I would say it's definitely something that can't really be a hobby if you want to go for it. You kind of have to eat, sleep, live, breathe it.
Right.
You have to prioritize it above pretty much everything else.
Okay. So she was whisked off to New York to sign with Major Models, which is one of the top agencies in New York. And she wasn't even acclimated to riding a subway. She had never even been to New York. Most people have gone to New York, but she had never even been to New York. And now she's living in New York with the hustle and the bustle and the cabs and the subways. So did they provide you with money for cabs, or did you have to catch the subways? Or both?
I could have opted to do a little bit more cab, but I would have had to pay that money back. That would have been advanced money.
Right. Oh, really?
So I usually opted for the subway. I guess I'm a thrifty person by nature. I didn't grow up with a lot of money, so I went subway. And I like the subway. I
Well,
like
it's quicker
figuring everything out
and
myself.
cheaper.
Now, when you were up in New York, were you by yourself for the most part? Family still here?
Yes.
So you were figuring out that whole city life by yourself.
Yes, and I was one of the first girls that was brought into the dorm, and I don't think there were any other Americans in the dorm until for like the first 2 or 3 weeks. So they sure didn't know how to get anywhere.
Right. So they're relying on you.
Yeah, and I'm like, they thought just because I was an American, I would know my way
did.
around. I'm like, I don't know this place any better than you guys. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Now tell us, what was your most enlightening experience there? Like, what did you love? What was the one time, the one show, the one moment that it was just like, wow, this is great?
I would say that was, I can't really pick one moment as far as actually working. Probably the best moment up there was when I actually got signed. And I ended up walking around the Manhattan Mall for like 5 hours in my pajamas, like afraid to go to sleep that the contract would evaporate, it would just go away.
Oh, wow.
And I'd wake up and have to go back to Virginia, and that would be awful.
Right.
You know,
So it was a dream come true.
Yes.
So you lived on Madison Avenue, correct?
Yes.
What was that like? I mean, that when I used to live in New York, I would take the subway to Madison Avenue, but I couldn't imagine. Well, I would ride back to the west side because I lived on the west side, but I would always go shopping on Madison Avenue. I didn't buy anything too expensive, just to say, you know, because I remember watching an Odd Couple, and they lived on Madison Avenue with their buzzer and the door and all that. So, you know, it was a great experience. I lived there a couple times. But did you ever consider moving to LA or getting into acting?
Well, as far as acting, I think I really liked the whole modeling industry more. If I had gotten more of a chance to get into acting, I think I might have changed my mind. I wasn't really exposed to it as much. There was one point where I came close to going on The Face.
Oh, okay.
And that was kind of interesting. At that point, I was actually living in, they were paying for me to have a room because the model room would close down, I guess, for the season. And I had my 2 old cats and my dog up there.
Okay.
And I didn't want to, and I kind of weaseled out of the show because I didn't want to have to leave because I didn't want to have to send my animals back to Virginia.
Oh, wow.
I'm a fur mom too. I totally understand.
Well, these are 20-year-old cats. They needed certain care, so I shouldn't have done it. I do regret it at this point, but at the time I'm looking at them like, okay, these cats, I don't trust my parents to take care of these cats correctly. I'm staying with them. I'm not sending them back to Virginia.
Oh, no, those cats would have been in a kennel or at my mom's house. I would have been gone.
I should have, but I was 21 years old, so bad decision.
Okay, so we're talking to Nicole Tennant, who is a model who had an opportunity to sign with a major agency, but that was years ago, so her life is changing. So as you get older, you need multiple streams of income. So how important do you think it is to have something to fall back on if your dream is dismantled or you get too old to do this? Is it important to have a second income or multiple streams of income?
It's important to even have that while you're doing it because honestly, it's not realistic to think that that's where you're going to make all your money. There's not near the amount of money that people think there is in it. Sure, if you're like, one of the top models in the world, it's a little bit different. But even if you're doing even if you're doing a lot of cool stuff, getting on some big name things, for being on the cover of Vogue magazine, it pays little to nothing because it's for the exposure.
Right.
That's right.
Like when I was in Glamour magazine, I think it paid like $150.
Okay, but everybody, that's a part of branding. You would have to pay for that. But listen, this is something you touched on, and I want to let the audience know. Like when you sign a record deal or a modeling contract, everything that they pay for, they recoup. So it's called an advance. So it's not like it's your check, your paycheck. It's like they're paying for this stuff. The cars, the apartment, the mink coats or whatever you're putting on the card, but they're coming back after. If you don't make that money back, then they drop you from the labels. So
That's right.
it's not all glitz and glamour. It's show businesses, 10% show and 90% business. Now, how important it is to save your money when you're making the big bucks?
Incredibly. Trust me, you're never going to look back and say, oh dang, I wish I had blown another $1,000 on whatever was fashionable that week. But you're usually going to be glad when you look but you're, very often going to look back and say, well, I didn't really need that bag, but I really could, but it really would be easier to make rent this month if I didn't blow money on that.
But a lot of people that I've discovered and work with in the entertainment industry, they shop at a lot of consignment shops and thrift stores, and they get those Gucci bags cheap. They don't necessarily go to Rodeo Drive and buy them. They usually have to look, but they're not paying retail for it. Or either a lot of sponsors and branding companies give the merchandise to the models and the actors and the entertainers so they can promote their brand.
Did you ever get Thanksgiving?
I got a lot of different clothing given to me. I still have a few pieces of it, but a lot of the designers, even in Fashion Week, do pay in clothes.
Runway, runway, bring it to the runway, 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 bring it to the 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 runway, runway, bring it to the runway, runway,
Hey, 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 hey. Every time I walk through the door, I always say hello. Every time I walk through the door, I always say hello.
What's going on, Funny Bone? That's my pastor's favorite song, dedicated to him. I know you all looking at me, I know what you're thinking, Only a smooth brother can wear white after Labor Day. That's right. Or a brother with only one pair of clean pants in his closet. Before I go any further, I'd like to give a shout out to all the hurricane victims. We can clap for that. I was impressed by how everybody pulled together and everything, how the families were broke apart, and those reunions really touched me. It got me to thinking about my family, and I realized my family ain't shit. When it comes to saving people, they ain't shit. If they were down there, anybody that was stranded would still be stranded. You feel me? My family holds grudges too long, especially my dad. If his neighborhood was flooded, he'd be riding around in his boat, trying to see how many people he could not save. Riding around, and they were like, "Hey, over here, save us." He was like, "F you! You should have bought a boat instead of that Porsche. What the Porsche doing for you now?" Another day was like, "Over here, save us." He was like, "Nah, you never returned my saw, you bastard." Splashing people over there. But he thinks that's tough, That's my dad's way of being tough. And when I was a kid, I thought it was tough too. He would threaten anybody that would harass me and my little sister. I saw him pick a guy up, shake him, throw him across the room. Sounds impressive, doesn't it? And I was impressed. But then I grew up, and I looked back, and I realized my dad liked to beat up midgets. Or anyone smaller than him. And I'm his son, I got his DNA. I like to beat up little dudes too. If you're this tall, you getting your ass beat. If you're this tall, we gonna negotiate. Hey, calm down, big fella. No need to get the sheriff involved. Because, I'm calling the police. Damn right. I'm not calling like a black man, though. I'm calling like a white man. Yes, please. There's a big, angry black man. He's very black and angry. He wants to harm me. Come quick, please. I'm scared. Police get there just like that. They be like, hey, what's going on? Where's the white guy? There's a white guy here? No white guy? Oh, okay, boss one.
Every time I walk through the door, I always say hello. Every time I walk through the door, I always say hello.
Runway, bring it to the runway, bring it to the runway, bring it to the runway.
Donate to the Black Men Rock Image Award Scholarship Foundation and help our young black men get a college education, because a mind, and a great potential is a terrible thing to waste. Call 757-618-8437 or visit us on our website, the Black Men Rock Image Awards Foundation.com. Photography by Jacoby. Call 757-618-8437 for that experienced photographer working with professional models and actors for over 25 years. That's 757-618-8437. Photography by Jacoby. Call us now.
Ryan Steaks and Cakes, voted best food in Suffolk, Virginia, with the best sweet potato jacks in the world. Located in downtown Suffolk, Virginia. Tell them you heard about them on Live with Jacoby and Nicole and receive a 10% discount. 202 East Washington Street, Suffolk, Virginia. Call them up today at 757-809-5449. That's 757-809-5449. Good food all the time.
Have you tasted Large Brothers seafood at a festival or event? That seafood platter is amazing. And those shrimp, man, they are delicious. Try them out at the Funk Fest in August. And check out their website at largebrotherscatering.com. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Good food all the time. Large Brothers.
Have you always wanted to rip the runway and get paid for your photos being in magazines like Vogue, Glamour, XXL, and Vibe magazine? Listen, Jacoby de Bouvier is an experienced model coordinator, fashion show producer, and agent with years of experience in the industry. He is designing this workshop especially for you. Call 757-618-8437 to sign up for this workshop. Space is limited, so call soon. 757-618-8437. That's 757-618-8437.
We're going to wrap it up in a couple of seconds, but Nicole, do you have anything else that you would like to ask her?
I just think that you're absolutely fabulous. I love your story and I love you for sharing it. And I definitely love the fact that you moved on and now doing even more unique things, like your adventure you're taking in now, and you are a
I'm about to start as an independent insurance agent with Family First Life.
brains and beauty.
That's right, and it's always good to have multiple streams of income because when the cameras go off, the bills still come.
That's right.
All right, this is Jacoby, live with Jacoby and Nicole, and this is going to wrap it up in this edition. See you next time. Now take care of yourselves and each other because I can't take care of you. See you next time.
If you're looking for that fresh fade, taper, line up, shape up, or shave, call Passions Exclusive Cuts in Portsmouth, Virginia at 757-717-6982. Ask for Darnell. He's the owner.
I walk through the door, I always say hello. When I walk in the room, all eyes on me. People think they know me cause they saw me on TV. They waiting and speaking and looking at me. They can't wait to get a